Welcome to this video on probability. Probability is a fascinating concept that has applications in many fields, including statistics, economics, and physics. At its core, probability is a measure of the likelihood of an event occurring. Let's start with a simple example, a coin toss. When you toss a fair coin, there are two possible outcomes, heads or tails, and each outcome is equally likely. This is where the probability comes in. It is represented by the ratio of the number of successful trials to the total number of trials. Here I am representing NH as our best guess for the number of heads based on our knowledge and ignorance. While the probability of getting one head in one coin toss is 50%, it does not imply that you will get a half head and a half tail. Rather, the result will be either heads or tails with 100% certainty. But what happens when we increase the number of trials? As we toss the coin more and more times, we can expect the fluctuations to decrease and the probability to become more stable. Now let's move on to a game of two tosses. There are four possible outcomes, and we can easily visualize them using a simple diagram. This diagram shows that there is only one way to obtain two heads or two tails, but two ways to obtain one head and one tail. And every path on this diagram has a different sequence of heads and tails. But the total number of heads remain the same in two paths. So there are total two ways to obtain one head and one tail. For example, in the third toss, there are three ways to obtain two heads. So the probability of obtaining two heads in three consecutive tosses is 3 by 8, where 8 is the total number of outcomes or paths in this diagram. We can expand this diagram to consider more consecutive tosses and discover a surprising fact that this diagram is actually a Pascal's triangle. This famous triangle has many interesting properties. So probability is a fascinating concept that is worth exploring. Thanks for watching.